I knew I was going to go on a little bit of a rant for her because when I saw it, I was just like, this is just so bad, just bad PR, just so bad. It's so dumb. It's so incredibly stupid. And it's not for her, by the way. My anger, not for her. My anger is for the Olympics because the Olympics are stupid for not allowing her to be a part of the 100-meter race because I actually was looking forward to watching the 100-meter race with her in it. Now, probably won't watch it. You know why? Because it's not an event I normally watch. Yes, I can admit that it's an event I don't normally watch. But if Sha'Carri was going to be in it, you bet I'm watching that because she's interesting and intrigues me. And the woman's also one of the fastest people in the world and has the swag and just excitement around her that makes me want to watch her. So yeah, I would definitely would have tuned in and watched. Now I'm not going to because she's not in it. And so the simple fact that that's not the case is that you would have somebody with so much hype behind them and so much excitement and so much like, oh man, can't wait to watch her run. Like that's something that doesn't happen often with like runners, swimmers. Like you get it with like the Michael Phelpses and the Ryan Lockeys and the people that and you like have won multiple gold medals. But to get a person who is running in her first Olympics, uh, at the pinnacle of her career, potentially, and has all this hype and everything around her, and being a woman in women's sports do not get as many viewers as male sports do. That's just how it goes. So the fact that it was a woman who was also had all this hype around her and then they're not going to let her run is just bad PR, bad look on the Olympics, and it's just terrible. And now I'm like I said, I'm not going to be excited for those events because she's not a part of it. And then the fact that the USA team didn't select her for the relay team is also shame on the USA team, for the love of God. I don't know why, like, because she was going to be available for the the 400 or 4x100 meter relay team, and they didn't select her somehow. It makes no sense to me. I'm sure it's probably some dumb,
PR.
oh, the Olympics voted her out because she tested positive for weed, and we don't want that image on our team. Screw you if that's the case, because that's the dumbest, stupidest reason I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that part of it as well. That seems like a little bit far. I mean, that seems like
Yeah,
the kind
she's
of
not going to be in the
situation.
Olympics at all. So
Oh, okay. I
that's
thought there
it.
was something about her, what, that she'd be able to like run her trials just in enough time or something based on the suspension. Is that not the case anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think
Oh,
she's going to be able to participate in any of the Olympic events because the ban covers the amount, like the time in which those races are going to occur, if I remember correctly.
oh, okay. Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know why they would take an extra step and just like take her off, well, not select her for the team or whatever. I'm going to assume straight off the bat that, yeah, it's a thing where they don't want to step on the Olympics' toes or whatever and, go around them in some way. But yeah, that seems a little bit far. She's again, this is one of those situations where yeah, this is getting more news for her and we know more about her now because of this news and everything and people are watching her because of that or want to watch her. Apparently we cannot. But yeah, this looks like stupidly immature on the Olympics and definitely just kind of taking a good situation. It's literally being handed to you in a breadbasket and tossing it to the side and stomping on it because I mean, there's only so many people that are like, oh hey, I can't wait to watch the 100-meter dash or whatever in the Olympics. So again, you have people who are saying I very much do, and yep, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't really care to do that anymore. So it's a shame. It's a stupid. I just think again, it's more of a reflection of just old values with that. Like again, I don't think THC should be classified as a performance enhancing drug. I think if anything, caffeine qualifies more than THC would, especially in terms of if you want to go fast or do anything quickly. I mean, if we're really going to get in that semantics argument, that falls a lot more in line with what they're talking about. It's just ridiculous pandering to, their viewers or whatever. And again, just why even bring this up? If she tests positive for it, and why are you even testing for it in the first place? But if you don't bring it up, is anyone really gonna be like, oh my god, we found out later she tested positive for THC or she's smoking weed? Like, who cares? Apparently, lots of people do. We don't, clearly.
No, it's the Olympic Committee not allowing her in is the ridiculous part of this whole thing because it's not only did she test positive for it, but there's also one, she's taken complete responsibility for it. She said that she knew the rules and that she had done it in part because, which is also crazy, is her biological mother passed away not too long ago, and she has stated basically that she has been kind of dealing with it a little bit by smoking weed, and that is one way that people do cope, just like people popping pills or taking drinks. Like, yeah, it's not the healthiest way maybe to deal with it, but it's also not healthy. Like, it's also better than drowning yourself in a bottle, or like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
popping pills. So the fact that that's part of the reason why she's doing it. And then the other thing too is which also I'm sure is a shock, is she found out about her biological mother passing from a reporter.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
a reporter
incredibly messed up.
asked her the question, and then or like asked or told her about it on the spot. And so, yeah, going through all of that with the emotions of the Olympics coming up and everything, I get why maybe you'd want to smoke weed and just hang out and chill for a little bit, especially right before a race that you have that's going to be super important in your life because it will qualify you for the Olympics. Like, there's so many reasons and things that go into why this situation is completely different than somebody testing positive because they just smoke it all the time and said, I don't care. There's just a lot of different reasons why it is different and why they should allow her to just run. And it's going to be unbelievable. It's unbelievable to think that a person who might be the fastest woman in the world isn't going to run in the race that would determine that. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and the thing I've heard as well too is like, oh, she knew the rules and stuff. She said she knew it and everything. The hypocrisy is real. You know damn well the same people that are saying that also have, like, again, the example from earlier, fireworks that are illegal in their state. If they ever got caught or fined for it or something, yeah, again, oh yeah, you knew the rules, you knew they're illegal, but you still bought them anyways. I mean, those are the same people that are pulling out their legal pads to actually talk about that. That
Yeah,
it's hypocritical to the max.
it's a bad take. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way. It's a
it's a
bad take.
bad
If that's
take.
if that's what you feel about this and that's what you're hanging your hat on, that's a bad take. The person should be running in the Olympics. It's not like she tested positive for steroids and has been using for the last 2 years. This is which, by the way, people have tested positive in the Olympics for steroids, and there's been all kinds of fun breakthroughs that oh yeah, all these athletes were using before, but you know what, guess
Surprise.
what, yeah, surprise, nobody cared. The Olympics, woo. And here
Yeah.
we are now, that the Olympics are now suddenly going to care about somebody smoking weed. It's just so stupid. It just makes no sense. And the reason why it's classified as like a whatever grade of drug it is because it like helps to relieve stress and anxiety and all that. And it's like, yeah, okay, great. Like, again, she helped her release anxiety and depression from what she's dealing with emotionally with her mother passing, as well as racing in one of the most important races in her life, as well as upcoming one of the most important races of her life as a freaking 21-year-old still trying to figure out herself as an adult. And we're just going
She's
to suddenly,
21. That's it.
she's 21 years old. So this is, again, we're talking about a younger woman who is not by any means, yeah, you're an adult, but you're still finding yourself in the early 20s. And that's just the fact. Again, it's just stupid. It's just so unbelievably dumb by the Olympics, and it just doesn't make any sense to me, even just by a PR standpoint, because again, just the amount of hype that she had around her going into the Olympics, to then just tell her that she couldn't because of a marijuana test, and then tell her that she's eligible still for the relays, and then the USA team just decides not to pick her for the team. Unbelievable. Just
Well,
makes no sense.
what's even the argument there? They're talking about the fact that it relieves stress and everything. Like, yeah, like what, weeks before the event, if THC was able to induce those effects for weeks long, they would not have a very growing, literal growing marijuana industry. You'd be able to buy one or like a couple of times, and you'd be good for the rest of the year. I mean, I don't understand that at all. That's like a
Yeah,
before the event type of thing. It's completely irrelevant. Stupid. I just
yeah,
dumb, stupid. That's it. That's the
and
take.
it's 100%. No, I agree with you. It's just dumb. It's stupid. Doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, it's just one of those where I'm just like, great, like, great. Now I'm not going to watch those events because I don't really care. Whereas if she was a part of the team, I'd be like, you know what? She's interesting enough to pull in me, for a fan who's never watched these races before. So, yeah, that's just ultimately the worst PR move I've ever seen by an organization that wants money and viewership, and then they're just going to throw that out for something unbelievably dumb. And explainable and just stupid.